Welcome to the Arsenal Stage News, and remember, make subscribe, then continue, enjoy your news. French flair and Bilbao brilliance. How Alexandre Lefevre and Nico Williams ignited Arsenal's new era. The news broke just after dawn in North London, but by mid-morning, the Emirates Stadium was already alive with chants and the tricolour flags of France fluttering alongside the red and white of Arsenal. In Bilbao, Nico Williams had already penned a heartfelt farewell to Athletic Club's loyal supporters. In Paris, Alexandre Lefevre's boyhood club, Stade Rennais, wished him luck in the Premier League. Two signings, two different stories, yet the same destination, Arsenal Football Club. This summer has felt different for the Gunners. After seasons of near misses and heartbreaking title races, Mikel Arteta and Edu Gaspar knew that to finally lift the Premier League again, they needed more than just potential. They needed fearlessness, final third fireworks, and the calm presence of a generational midfielder. So they turned to two of Europe's brightest talents. First came the Frenchman, Lefevre, a deep-lying playmaker hailed in Ligue 1 for his velvet touch, vision that slices through defensive lines, and a composure on the ball that belies his 22 years. Arsenal scouts had tracked him for over 18 months. They'd watched him pull the strings against Paris Saint-Germain and Marseille, dictating the tempo with metronomic precision. When Arteta met him privately in Paris this May, the young man spoke of his desire to grow into a world-class conductor of the Arsenal orchestra, inspired by legends like Patrick Vieira and Cesc Fabregas. The deal was swift, but far from simple. Rennes wanted to build around their jewel. Arsenal's persistence, though, and Lefevre's dream to test himself in England proved decisive. By mid-June, photos emerged of him boarding a private jet bound for London Colney. On arrival, he was greeted by Arteta himself, who spoke to him not just as a player, but as a vital piece of the club's future. A new midfield triangle was forming: Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, and now Lefevre. The fans could sense it. This was control. This was creativity. This was calm under pressure. But Arsenal knew they needed more than elegance. They needed chaos in the wide areas, a spark that could ignite games with a sudden burst of pace. That's where Nico Williams came in. At just 22, the Spanish international had become the talk of La Liga, a winger who plays on the edge, electric in the dribble, unafraid to run at anyone, anywhere. His partnership with his brother Iñaki at Athletic Club had dazzled the Basque faithful. But deep down, Nico felt ready for a new adventure, new battles under the floodlights of English football. Negotiations with Athletic Club were delicate. Nico's release clause was a test of Arsenal's ambition. Yet with Champions League football secured and the promise of a project built for young, fearless attackers, the decision became clear. Nico wanted London. He wanted Arsenal. He wanted the Premier League defenders to feel what Spanish fullbacks had felt all season, helpless when his boots hit the accelerator. In late June, the club confirmed the double announcement in a single video. A slick montage showed Nico at the training ground, Lefevre signing his contract, Arteta standing behind them both, arms folded, smiling like a man who knows his squad is now stronger than ever. Social media erupted. Arsenal's Twitter trended worldwide, with fans celebrating the perfect balance: craft in the middle, chaos out wide. When the pair stepped onto the Emirates pitch for the first time, they were greeted with a roar that rattled the empty seats awaiting the new season. Lefevre wore the number 8 shirt, once graced by legends like Freddie Ljungberg and Samir Nasri. Nico pulled on the number 11, a nod to his flair, his instinct to attack, to break lines, to thrill. Pre-season training at London Colney showed exactly why the excitement was real. Lefevre slotted into drills like he'd played in the Premier League for years, recycling possession, pinging passes into Odegaard's feet, switching play with the nonchalance of a seasoned veteran. Nico, meanwhile, tormented fullbacks in training matches, jinking inside and out, combining with Bukayo Saka on the opposite wing. The thought of Arsenal's flanks featuring Saka and Nico, two wingers unafraid to take risks.
Another news.
Vinicius Jr, Real Madrid's electric Brazilian superstar, is in active negotiations with Arsenal Football Club. The Gunners, hungry for global stardom and silverware, are plotting a move that could shake the entire footballing world. Chapter 1. The whispers that ignited a dream. For years, Arsenal had been climbing back to the top. Under Mikel Arteta, the North London club rediscovered its identity. Beautiful football, youth, ambition, and fight. But after consecutive second-place finishes and a painful UEFA Champions League semi-final exit last season, the club's hierarchy decided that now was the time for something monumental. Vinicius Jr had just helped Real Madrid win another La Liga title, but rumors of unrest behind closed doors persisted. He wanted more than trophies. He wanted to feel like the face of a project. With Kylian Mbappé arriving at Madrid and Endrick waiting in the wings, Vinicius began to consider a new challenge. Arsenal, with their high-octane football and their raising global appeal, offered just that. Edu Gaspar, Arsenal's technical director, quietly flew to Madrid on a mission. There, behind the scenes, preliminary talks with Vinicius's representatives were initiated. Chapter 2. A call from Arteta. Mikel Arteta had never been afraid of dreaming big. After helping to develop the likes of Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, and Gabriel Martinelli, Arteta now craved a player who could lead the next evolution of Arsenal. Someone world-class, magnetic, fearless. Vinicius received a direct call from the Arsenal boss. Arteta painted a picture of a project with him at its heart, leading the charge in the Premier League and Europe, flanked by Saka and Odegaard, fed by Reece and Zubimendi. Vinicius was captivated by the vision. He didn't commit, but he listened. And that was more than enough. Chapter 3. Behind-the-scenes negotiations with the players' interest confirmed, the next step was the hardest, convincing Real Madrid. Florentino Perez had no intention of losing Vinicius easily. He was still a fan favorite, an elite winger, and a marketing icon.